These things, let me preface real quick by saying they won't all happen at once. I wish they would. I all wish we could wave the magic wand and be in this position from day one. And if we could, I would, and I'd wave it over you and it would just be that way. But it's not. This is a process. Don't expect to get all of these out of your life in this instant. But I want you to know where you are looking to go to free up your time to be the business owner, to make better decisions, and to be able to spend your time as you want. Recently, I did something really crazy. Me and my husband bought a house, got our house ready, and sold a house all in 12 days. 12 days. We are absolutely insane. We are crazy. This was a total spur of the moment opportunity, and it was a great one for our family, and it's a huge blessing. But let me tell you, the 8 days we worked on getting our house ready to go on the market were some of the hardest I have ever experienced from a work standpoint. My husband looked at me in the end, and David was like, "We have never worked this hard in our lives." And it was true. Despite all the late nights I pulled being an entrepreneur, this was the ultimate test of my CEO and management abilities, of his ability to just work hard all day long from sun up to sundown and beyond sundown. And you know what? We pulled through. The amazing thing about it is I've realized a few important lessons during this process that I really wanted to share with you guys. And that's where our story starts today. It is with the outlet cover story. So what in the world am I talking about? Well, during this process of redoing our home, we realized we needed a lot of help. Now, many entrepreneurs, the ways that we get to being amazing entrepreneurs with amazing businesses is by doing all the work yourself, right? Think about it. How did you start your business? One of an entrepreneur's superpowers is to start a business and do everything to get it off the ground, right? Because when you're starting, you can't afford help. You are basically running off your own capital, whether that's your time capital, your money capital. You're running with whatever you have, whatever is God-given to you. And you're trying to make things work no matter what. And while that superpower is what makes us entrepreneurs and what gets us started, over time, we find that's the superpower that also holds us back from growing and scaling our businesses. So in the private practice world, I see this, I've seen this in my own, I've seen it in many others. The fact is, at some point, we have to let go of doing anything to grow anymore. And it is the hardest thing to do. Well, guess what? I experienced the same feeling with getting this house done. We had 8 days to get it on the market and to sell it. And I was looking all around thinking, there's no way we can do this by ourselves. I mean, I have 2 young kids and they, love to create a mess and love to hoard toys. And there was just so much going on that needed to be repaired because we're kind of DIYers. Like I had started painting the kitchen cabinets a couple of years ago when we moved in, and I got them about 80% done and they looked great from the surface, but I never finished. And now that I'm selling this house, I've got to finish painting cabinets in a weekend. Insane. So what we really came to give into, despite the DIYers we are, is the fact we needed help. I had no clue how to fix some things on our screen porch. I had no idea how to fix the random glass that I'd somehow broken a perfect circle. Not kidding you. Perfect circle in on one pane, double pane glass, broke a perfect circle in one pane, swatting a fly with a magazine one day. Needless to say, I let my husband swat the flies. Now, things like that, I had no clue even what to do. But I started finding the freedom in hiring out other contractors to do these things. And this was going well for the first few days. And then all of a sudden we're getting to crunch time and I'm looking around and I'm just seeing things that aren't done. And I'm like, wow, I really want to go over there and just put those outlet covers on so they're done. I actually was sitting in this room exactly when this happened. And I want to go over there, put the plates on, have it done, check another thing off the list. Until I realized I had 5 other people wandering around this house who could put on outlet covers. Heck, even my 6-year-old daughter knows how to use a power drill and could put on outlet covers. And yet, I'm thinking about spending my time doing just that? Well, the truth is, as a business owner, as you grow and scale, you need to figure out what you should not be doing. And for me in that moment, outlet covers was not what I needed to be doing. I needed to be deconstructing and packing up my office upstairs, making decisions about what needs to go in storage and what I'm going to need over these next few months. Only I can make those decisions. Nobody else could make that for me. No one else could decide what clothes I was going to wear or need to wear in the next month, and which ones I could put in the pod out in our driveway. That being said, I wanted to do outlet covers, and you have to resist the outlet covers in your business as well. So today we're talking about the top 5 things you should not be doing in your business. So really, the thing is, as you're inching closer to being a CEO, to being somebody who actually is a business owner, not just a clinician, not just someone who's treating patients all day, somebody who's actually growing and scaling something of worth, of value that could be later, something maybe you're cashing out on, or maybe you're just creating for the lifestyle you want. And you're going to eventually be out of the treatment room, traveling, doing whatever you want, spending time where you want, or just enjoying running a business. So I wanted to go over today 5 things that you should not be doing if you want to be a true CEO and business owner. So these things, let me preface real quick by saying they won't all happen at once. I wish they would. I all wish we could wave the magic wand and be in this position from day one. And if we could, I would, and I'd wave it over you and it would just be that way. But it's not. This is a process. Don't expect to get all of these out of your life in this instant. But I want you to know where you are looking to go to free up your time to be the business owner, to make better decisions, and to be able to spend your time as you want. So the first thing you need to give up as a private practice business owner is going to be seeing patients. That is one of the main things that you're going to need to give up in this grand scheme of things. And I get it. Right now, you may be thinking, I love my patients. I never want to stop seeing them. I really enjoy being a therapist or a chiro or an MD, clinician, whatever you are. And the truth is everybody feels it's hard. It's hard to switch even on a weekly basis. Do you find yourself having trouble, if you are treating right now, switching from that to being a business owner and then back to seeing patients and getting your mind straight so that you can actually make good decisions both for your patients and for your business? It's hard to be playing the two. It's almost like playing, two-faced, two-side, having two different personalities that are very, 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 very different. In this case, one thing you need to aim for in the long run to get rid of is seeing patients. If you want to be a true CEO, if you really want to grow and scale a business, this is something you are going to have to give up. On the flip side, I will say, if you decide it's something you never, ever, ever want to get up, then you're going to have to hire somebody more to run the business for you. You're not going to be the CEO in the business if you are still in the treatment room. So we've talked about how getting out of the treatment room is a huge part of things that you should not be doing as a CEO in your business. The next thing that you should really consider is, are you the one still following up with all of your leads? This is such a time-consuming activity. And one of the big reasons these clinics who start out and maybe hit 60, 80, getting close to $100,000 fail to really break to the next level and get to the point where they can hire therapists and get out of seeing patients is because they don't hire somebody to do lead gen follow-up. They do not have anybody to follow up with people who've called the clinic but never booked, from people who've inquired off your website, from any ads you're running, from any workshops you're doing. All of those leads that you amass wherever they are at community events, somebody's got to follow up with them. And they have to have a process that's consistent, reliable, predictable, that they just run through, and all they do all day is take care of following up with your leads. Right now, a lot of you, if you're don't have somebody dedicated to doing this, whether it's your front desk plays a dual follow-up role or you have a dedicated salesperson, you're losing out on a lot of conversions. You're losing out on all those patients that could get you out of the treatment room to get you the money to hire that next staff member. So really, you need to focus on finding a way to get your follow-up consistent all the time. And to be honest, you just following up with people at the very end of the day is losing you money. You cannot, with these leads and with prospects, they will be on the schedule for your competitor down the street if you're not picking up the phone when they call, if you're not calling them right back, right after they opt in, right after they email you, right after you get their information. You've got to be on top of this. All right, number 3. So we've gone over, you need to get out of seeing patients. You need to get somebody who's a just bulldog when it comes to following up with your leads. And then you need to think about letting go of posting your social media. Guys, this is one of those tasks that feels like it's so easy for you to do. And don't get me wrong, it is. But those little moments of having to run your social media accounts and post all the time and write out content, all this jazz, it adds up. I would love for you to track and see how much time you are spending on that right now. And you'd be thinking, wow, I'm posting all this stuff. I could have written 2 more blogs during all these hours I've been posting stuff. This is something really easy to outsource even to a VA or to somebody in your clinic. Maybe if you even have a tech, somebody that can just literally do what millions of people across the world who aren't even good with phones or tech devices, post to social media. You give them a schedule, they do it, frees you up for more hours to make smart business decisions. Number 4, another thing clinicians hold on to or in private practice is doing their own marketing. And let me explain just a little bit. This is something that I firmly believe you are always involved in as a CEO because you are the brand, you are the messenger, you are the dancing monkey, as I call myself in this business. However, running your own ads is a whole nother ballgame. Running your own ads is a full-time job for somebody. And the longer you're in the thick of that, you may be able to hold on to it a little longer if you get out of the treatment room, if you have people following up with your leads. But it literally, to do it well, to do it right, to get the most money from your return, you need somebody in there all the time doing things for you. So you need to, in the long run, consider that while you'll still always be a great marketing head at the strategic direction, you're not going to be the one implementing all these things. And you shouldn't be because your time needs to be spent elsewhere. Now, number 5 is you have got to also consider giving away control of your website. Just like your ads, it is one of those things that for this to be done right, it is a full-time job. Somebody needs to be making sure that you have a website that all these leads, all these people are learning about you is actually going to capture your patients, to make sure your marketing spend is actually getting your full bang for your buck. Because here's the crazy thing. Even if you're running marketing at all, paid ads, if you're doing social, organic, anything, whatever you're running, here's what happens. People see an offer, people see an ad, people learn about your business name. They may or may not click or look on the offer. But if they're interested, they'll go look you up on your website. Just like if your mom tells you, hey, go try that new restaurant down the street. It was really good. We went last night. You're going to look up the menu. You're not just going to stroll down there and walk in just because your mom said so. It's not how things work anymore. We have so much information. So you need to realize, and we've worked with several of their marketing companies who've told us the same thing, their clients' ads work better if they have a well-built lead generating website. And that sort of activity takes a lot of expertise. This is not something you just like whip up on a weekend. So when you get serious about your marketing, you're also going to need somebody to build out a very strong lead generating website that captures leads for you. So you're not wasting money on marketing or time if you're just doing organics, free stuff. So really, we've gone over the 5 things you shouldn't do. You shouldn't be seeing patients in the long run. You shouldn't be following up with leads. You shouldn't be posting your social media. You really shouldn't be running your ad accounts, and you shouldn't be running your website. So what do you do? Might be the next question. All right, I'm going to go over this briefly, but really the things you need to focus on as a CEO, as a business owner, you need to be hiring, firing, and training. Eventually, for some of you, you'll hire this position out too, but this is something huge. Especially if you're just hiring your first few people, you've got to focus on that. As my business coach says, you've got to keep the bench warm. We think about it in soccer, you only get so many subs and someone goes down and you've got to be able to throw somebody back in. to the game no matter what's going on. You don't want to get stuck being sucked back into the business permanently and having to see patients and stop growing. The next thing you really should be working on is strategic planning and decision making. You are the leader and you need to have that time. You need to win back time to really be able to think. It's one of the biggest, I probably should do a whole episode. One of the biggest things that's impacted my business is winning back time for me to just think about my business. You really need to be producing content. I told you you're still the dancing monkey head of the business. And you need to be doing things like sending out emails, writing blogs, doing videos, doing podcasts. Remember, use a VA to help send and post all these, but you've got to be the content producer. You also should really be spending your time analyzing numbers. Even if you hate numbers, you've got to know your numbers to make smart decisions. And really, you need to establish yourself as an authority. Now, making your website's a huge part of that. Doing something like writing a book is a huge part. Becoming a celebrity and focusing on that in your community, huge, huge, huge to the impact you can make to get the word out about how you help people. Now, here's the thing. Some of these things I completely understand. You're going to be like, I can't give that away. I've always still want to do that. Well, that's fine. You're just choosing not to be a full CEO of your business. And that's a decision you have to make. And that means you will still be bound by time restrictions, like things like clinical hours. You'll still be bound by other decisions you've made with regards to where you spend your time. You're not going to be able to grow your business as fast if you are bound to being like one of your staff. So really, you've got to realize there is a huge advantage to getting rid of these things in your business. I encourage you to start one by one, working towards them to keep growing, to keep scaling, and to keep winning back your time. If you think about all the things that I said you should be doing, well, the vast majority of them, you could do it from the beach in the Bahamas, if we're ever allowed to travel there again. So these are the things that will take you to the next level if you focus on getting rid of them and doing what you should be doing in your business. Now, if you're ready to get rid of some of them, let's have a chat because we are specialists in helping you get rid of the website and getting it off your plate, keeping you bogged down, all the tech stuff. What do you write on it? That stuff we take completely off you. And if you're ready to chat about getting that off your plate, just go to freewebsitecall.com and we will set up a time to talk to you and about what we can do to help you move forward and get more patients on autopilot.